2 parts after losing the short-form signal, the Endeavour leaders were still debating what to do, leave and come back or stay and call in supports. Just because we had lost the signal didn't mean it wouldn't return. And the more important question, who was generating the signal to begin with, was not even close to being answered. It was mentioned that, if we were to call up any ships, the Parted was now the closest region to us, given how far east we had moved to get into the Great Rift, which bends even further eastward as it stretches north, so it essentially leans over the Parted region, where our granite mines are being established. The Parted region is also overseen by Rover 17, which is navigated by the Guardian who led the initial exploration up along the Great Rift, scanning and raising both sides of the split between with overlands and what would become the Parted North. His name is Trevor, and he headed up all of that after leading the same pair of transports to establish both the north and south crossing points of the Great Rift, which connected the Parted to the Expanse and made crossing the dangerous gouge in our moon possible to begin with, much less relatively efficient. He and his people knew the slice of the moon better than anyone, and were also thoroughly familiar with the inner workings of the rift, and how turbulent the conditions can become within its boundaries. After speaking to Trevor for a bit, we all decided that the best course of action would be to load 2 jumpers and bring 2 transports along as well, all outfitted to go for at least 10 to 12 spins. That would be a very nice, and unexpected, package to join us, and I questioned if he could spare those kind of resources for what would be roughly a week of your time here in this world. His reply, that the colony, as a whole, couldn't afford not to put those kind of resources into the search, just went to prove both how important the Parted and its granite mines meant to all of us, but also how important our success was to him, personally. For him, this was a calling, similar to how I feel about, though I think our passion for success is grown from different places. I have a direct link to the originals. For me, it is building a legacy. The nature where Trevor's work puts him and his people in danger far more than normal Guardian activities and responsibilities usually do. Because of this, Trevor has lost more Guardians under his watch than any other leader. For Trevor, the colony's success is personal, and something he will fight for, because of what he's paid to see it through this far. People like Trevor are the reason society's progress to begin with. And, like most true visionaries, he will likely pass through the marks of our progress with his strong hand in it barely acknowledged. Trevor has also become one of my better friends over the last few genuines, so it will be nice to work with him directly once again. It was going to take him a few parts to get everything together, but then they would be breaking over into the Great Rift, headed north toward us. They would shoulder the eastern ridge moving up while the Endeavour shouldered the western ridge as we moved south toward them. Shouldering is maintaining the optimal distance between your ship and the ridge, where the width that is covered in a pulse swell drop would reach to the edge of the ridge, but not be wasted spreading into the mountains themselves. The 2 transports would move up with the rover, spread out toward the middle, dropping swells and building stripes themselves as they listened for the short-form signal. We decided to leave the jumpers for later, as I didn't see how much more they would add, weight against the dangers that still await even a cruiser of that size inside this brutal canyon. We were just entering a semi-dark phase when Rover 17 and the 2 transports crossed over into the Great Rift, slowly moving north. We continued moving south toward them, as we all listened for the signal that still had not returned. But it wouldn't be long before it did.